This is like the first time we've ever told this story in full.
That is true. I'm embarrassing playing dodgeball.
She makes the best noises.
I do. He liked a lot of other girls, actually.
Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. This week, it is a hot Saturday. 90 degrees outside in Michigan today. So we set up a pool in our backyard. We didn't feel like going to the beach, so we brought the beach to us. We were hoping that we could put Lyndon in the water, but the hose water came out at like 50 degrees, so the water is freezing in the pool. It's Saturday. It was like 6 o'clock. We haven't really been out of the house yet. We sat in the backyard for like an hour this afternoon.
We went out last night to like a fair right by our house, so we were out late, and Lyndon normally goes to bed at like 7 and she didn't go to bed until 9:30, and she refused to sleep while we were at the fair, so.
We took Lyndon in to see all the animals. She loved the goats, hated the pigs.
Oh my gosh, the pigs were the first thing we went into, so I don't know if that was it, but like, it's at the fair, so it's really smelly, and it was like, it is today, so it's like 90 degrees outside. Yeah. And there's like big fans blowing, which she doesn't like loud noises like that already. So I showed her the pig. I was like, Lyndon, look, pigs! And she instantly just burst into tears. It was kind of funny.
We got to eat some fair food, look at some crafts. I think going to the fair last night was worth it.
Yeah, we had to go with some friends, so
yeah,
it's nice to see them.
You're fine.
Lyndon, do you like the horsey? Look at the horsey! Oh my gosh, it's so soft. Look at all the pigs, Lyndon.
Why does it drip so much? Well, our plan today is to start the story of how we met.
Yep.
And I think perhaps the best place to start is Calvin.
Yeah. So we both went to college at Calvin College, which is now Calvin University in Grand Rapids, Michigan, which is where I grew up. Nathan is from Pennsylvania.
So we both started in the fall of 2013.
And we lived in the same dorm. So at Calvin, like half the dorm is guys, half the dorm is girls. So there's two separate wings. So we lived in the same dorm, but on separate wings. And I was friends with quite a few people on Nathan's floor that I met like at the beginning of freshman year and hung out with. And I don't think I ever saw you like all of first semester freshman
Probably
year.
not. So the way it works at Calvin, like every floor is kind of a little family.
Yeah.
So it's very normal that you would always be hanging out with everyone on your own floor.
Yeah. So then they have intramurals, and so some girls from my floor and some guys from Nathan's floor created a dodgeball team. And so I don't know, it was like once or twice a week we would play dodgeball. And I think there was one night where we needed a couple subs, right? Or were you on the team?
I was on the team.
Oh, you were on the team the whole time?
Yeah, so I got invited by...
I don't even know. People ask me how Nathan and I met, and I'm like, I think it was dodgeball.
This is like the first time we've ever told this story in full.
That is true, also.
So I think there might be a lot of details that both of us know that the other person doesn't, that are going to come out right now.
Well, that's part of the purpose of our YouTube channel, is to communicate better, so it's perfect.
Our two floors kind of became...
Yeah, close.
Close, yeah. That's a good word. And then when they started an intramural dodgeball team, I got invited to join, so I did.
And then I'm embarrassing playing dodgeball. I would always just hide or dodge the balls the entire time, and so I would always end up being the last person on my team left on the court because all I did was stand there. I didn't throw, I didn't catch, I just...
Like you guys heard last week, Laura has very low ambition. So the idea of like running up and getting a ball to throw,
yeah,
not an option.
I'm not competitive and I'm scared of getting hurt. So then, so I would just be out there, and anytime something would be thrown at me, I'd be like, which are very...
She makes the best noises.
I do. So that would be me, and I'd be the last person on my team. There would be like 7 other guys on the other team trying to get me out, and so I would just be doing that for like 5 minutes until I finally got out.
Yep. And after a few times of watching her be out there alone, being a weirdo, I was like, who's that girl out there? Like, what's the girl's name that's always the last one on the court? Oh, that's Laura. Oh.
What were you thinking? Like, were you like, wow, she's a weirdo?
No, I was like, she's kind of cute.
So I really don't remember Nathan at dodgeball.
Right, because then I kind of disappeared for another 3 months.
Yeah, he liked another girl.
Yeah. We won't.
He liked a lot of other girls, actually. Well, my first memory of Nathan is a bunch of us were in the basement watching a movie, or I don't remember. I think it was a TV show. I don't remember. Doesn't matter. And Nathan was like sitting on the floor doing his math homework.
Yeah, probably.
And I was like, oh, he's cute. Like, oh, and he's doing math. He's probably smart. And that's my first memory of him. Yeah, so then you started hanging out with your floor more, therefore started hanging out with me and my friends more.
Yeah.
And then we just kept talking the rest of the school year and hanging out, mostly in groups.
Yeah.
Sometimes after like worship, we had Wednesday night, like dorm worship, we would stay and talk afterwards for a while.
It's so crazy to think of how late we stayed up back then.
It's like 8 o'clock right now, and I'm like, that's so late. Do we have to do this today? But in college, our dorm worship wouldn't start until 10 p.m.
Right.
And it would go until 10:30.
Right.
And then we would stay up for
3 hours.
Yeah. On a school night, and I'd have an 8 a.m. class.
And we weren't even the ones that stayed up late.
Where were we?
And then...
And we didn't really like talk about our relationship at all.
No, we were still friends.
Yeah, we knew that we liked each other, but we never like said it out loud.
Right. That was my last ditch effort to try to not get involved at the end of the year, was at least, let's just not talk about it. Let's just keep it under the surface.
And I had never had a boyfriend. I'd had like guys I went on dates with and whatever that I knew were interested in me, but I never ended up being interested in them. Or at least I knew it wasn't going to go anywhere, so I didn't ever put in any effort. And so I like that, the fact that we knew we both liked each other but weren't talking about it like made me nervous, but also I wasn't going to be the one to bring it up either. So the end of freshman year, it's like the last couple weeks of school, and Nathan's like, hey, like one of my favorite bands, Bethel, is going to be in Kalamazoo, which is like 45 minutes from where we were. They're having a concert, and I was going to try to get some people together to go. He made it sound like this was going to be a group affair.
It was going to be.
So then I was like, yeah, that sounds great. And then he just didn't put any effort into getting anyone else to go.
I think I invited a few people, but only one other person said that they could. And then I was like, well, if this is going to be 3, might as well just be 2.
So then Nathan drove to my parents' house to pick me up because I had moved back home already.
Right.
And he met my parents and one of my brothers, and then we went to a concert together. So then summer
break hit, and Laura disappeared.
I told you I was nervous.
I had no idea what was going on.
I just started ignoring him.
I moved back to Pennsylvania for the summer, And
we had each other's phone numbers. So
tried to talk to Laura and got nothing.
Yeah.
You said you didn't want to start a relationship over texting conversations.
That's true, because I knew that about myself, that like over texting I'm like, I can be super open and like chatty and talkative, but then when it comes to talking in person, I like kind of shut down and it's a lot harder for me to talk. So I didn't want him to have like a skewed view of me.
Right.
So I think that is a big part of it.
So it happened.
But then over the summer, Nathan's birthday is August 13, and I have no idea what possessed me to do this. I sent him a birthday card. How did I even get your address? I probably looked it up on the website.
I think I still have the card. Let me find it. This is what we're here for. So I am thinking Laura's just ignoring me, no hope left in this relationship, and then this shows up in my mailbox at my parents' house.
Nathan, happy birthday, probably a few days late. I'm assuming you turned 20, so you're no longer a teenager, which is weird to think about. Do you feel different? Probably not. Everyone always asks me that on my birthday, and I never know what to say because it's usually just another normal day. Now that my trip to Korea is over, I'm very ready to be back at Calvin. I'll have to tell you all about my trip in person, and you're gonna have to tell me about your new niece and nephew. I bet you're gonna be their favorite uncle. Winky face. Anyway, I hope you have had a splendid birthday, and I hope you enjoy the rest of summer. I can't wait for us both to be back at Calvin so we can spend time together and actually talk in person. Smiley face. See you soon, Laura. Smiley face.
As soon as I open this letter, I'm like, all right, that's it. No more of this wondering, waiting around thing.
Wow.
I remember having that thought.
Must have made quite the impression.
It did.
And then started at Calvin for our sophomore year. And on Sunday nights, well, I don't know about at the beginning of our relationship.
I'm pretty sure it was the very first Sunday night that we were back. I was like, hey, do you want to go on a walk?
We would have like a chapel/church service
Yeah.
at 8 o'clock on Sunday nights. So we would go to that. And then Nathan would have like a dorm meeting thing after that. And so then it would be, by the time he was done with that, 11 o'clock at night. And
11 o'clock.
And we would go on a walk for like
hour and a half.
Yeah, hour and a half. And we would do that every Sunday night.
Yep. So I don't remember how it started the first time, but I know we just kind of like nonchalantly, like, hey, do we want to go on a walk and talk? And then it just happened every Sunday after that for the whole year.
So we went on walks, and then it was the end of September.
Yeah, so we had gone on like 3 or 4 walks, and every time we would both go back to our own rooms after the walk, and everyone would be like, so you guys dating yet?
Literally, my friends on my floor would be like waiting for me to get back from this walk. Did he ask you out? Are you his girlfriend yet? I was like, no, not yet.
And at the time, it felt like such a long time.
It did.
Like a month of hanging out and going on walks.
Because like you see each other every day because you...
Right, we lived like
live with
a 10-second walk away from each other.
And you like go to meals together and all this, so...
But now looking back to think that we had like met each other, or I guess like re-met each other, and 1 month later we were dating does not seem like very much time at all.
No, not at all. Like I very quickly realized how different we were.
Yeah.
He's just like, Nathan's a super deep thinker and like always is thinking about something or like trying to work out a problem in his head or things like that. And I'm just like, yeah, cool. And like, I don't know. I don't really think about things. I'm not always thinking about something. So we'd be like on a walk and I'd be quiet. He's like, what are you thinking about? I'm like, I'm supposed to be thinking about something? Crap, I have to think up of something to think about so that we have something to talk about. And oh man. You carried most of the conversation for the first couple months of our relationship.
We did talk a lot on walks though.
Yeah. he would have to ask me like specific questions to get me talking. I think it was like right around Thanksgiving when we had that snow day. All of a sudden I got like these like scared feelings, like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Like, do I even like him? Do I need to break up with him? I think I should break up with him. No, I probably shouldn't break up with him. Should I? I don't know. And like,
I didn't know this.
Really? And for like a week, I was like so torn. And you were always like so happy, and you'd like text me like, oh, I'm so happy, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, me too.
And then the rest of the school year kind of just breezed by. So for now, freshman year and sophomore year, done. We're dating, going into the summer, feeling good. Everything is going well. And that's when disaster strikes.
A little dramatic.
We'll have to have a part 2 coming up next week to talk about the breakup.
Yep.
Bye.